Good morning. I'm the librarian for your Masters of Health Sciences education program. My name is Carolyn Carpin, and today I'm going to give you a quick overview of some of the library resources and then tell you how you can find help whenever you need it. So the first thing I'm going to do is share my screen so that you can see the library homepage. So as you can see, we have a homepage with all kinds of information on it. I'm going to point out a few key things. And the first thing I want to point out here is this yellow banner across the top. This is where we've been placing any kind of updates around library services, hours, location, openings and closings and so on during the pandemic. So if there are any changes, this is your first place to go, and then they are redirecting you to some links here if you want more information. Now we have a giant search box in the middle of the page called Search the Library, and this allows you to search for books, articles, videos, and more content. Now, if you're searching for books, videos, sort of things at the top level rather than journal articles, you can click on this catalog button, and that will help you to search items that you can find in the physical library or ebooks. And you can also use the guest catalog as another way to access the catalog information. So I'm just going to plug in a search term here. We're going to search for COVID-19, and we're going to go ahead. And the first thing it will ask you to do is log in with your CCID. So this is what allows you to get access to this from off campus. So now we're hopping over into the big search engine. And basically this searches across not only the library catalog, but around 300 or so library databases. So not all of the databases are in here. That's something important for you to be aware of. So one of the key tricks here is, because we have so much information in here, one of the ways you can limit things right away is if you're just looking for scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles, you can click on the scholarly peer-reviewed journals button, and that will select the articles for you. If you want to search for books or videos that might be online, that sort of thing, then you can click in on the catalog function, and that will allow you to sort of narrow down by your format of information. There are also a number of other limiters down the side here, so you can explore those, you can adjust your time frame, and so on. So that's available for you to work with. Now, we do have a longer video that I will send over on how to use this large search engine. So I'm going to end it there for today. I'm going to take us back to the library homepage because I want you to see some of the other features that are here. So if you have a particular database or an e-journal that you need, you can search for those by find databases or find e-journals. We also have a course materials and reading lists page available for further information about materials that might be on a reading list for you. If I scroll back up, you'll also see at the top we have a library services page, and I wanted to point out that one of the important services when you're looking for information is the interlibrary loan function. Interlibrary loan allows you to bring in materials that our library does not have. So you can request journal articles, you can request books. You just click in there and then you can log in with your CCID, or your barcode and PIN. The barcode means the barcode on the back of your one card. And then you will pop up a form that you can fill out. Please give us as much information as possible so that we can try to track down the resource that you need. Length of time before things are received will vary depending on how busy the library staff is, maybe how far away a book might have to be shipped from, and that sort of thing. So timelines can vary there. So just something to keep in mind. Something else to show you up here at the top, we have subject guides, and you can see we have these organized mostly by disciplinary area or by library. So for example, we have an education guide. And so I'm going to take you in here and show you the range of education guides we have. These are all available for you to work with. And what we've done is tried to narrow things into topics and provide you with the best resources to get started with those topics. I'm going to start with the education research page, which is a general good starting place for any educational research. And if I scroll down on the left, you'll see we have some education specific databases. So we have the ERIC database, we have another database called Education Database. These two come from two different companies, and so it's definitely worth exploring both of them. Today, I am going to take us into the ERIC database and do a brief search just to show you how it works. So this is our advanced search engine, and I'm going to open up starting with health education. And as somebody who has recently been diagnosed with diabetes, I am interested in finding out more information. So how can I learn about the research that's been done on health education and the topic of diabetes? So you'll see that brought me 760 articles, so that's not too bad. I can further limit that. You'll see I can limit to scholarly journals. Okay, that didn't narrow it down a whole lot, but it limited it some. Maybe I want to adjust it by date so that I maybe have the last 5 or 6 years of research. That might help. Okay, so that brings it down into a more manageable number. And then I can scroll through and look at my results. And you can see I have subjects that are attached to the very first article. And you can see that it's matching health education, diabetes. It's also picked up the word health in a couple of other subject headings here. So that might be helpful to know. Maybe some of those other subject headings could be useful, and I could go back and add those to my search or redo my search. And in this case, we have full text directly from ERIC, so you can click on that and you'll pull up the full text. In other cases, you'll see we have this green Get It button. So I'm going to open that up. And what we see here is a link to where the journal lives. So it's on a different library platform. And if I follow the link, it's going to take me over to the Emerald journals. And then I can see my article is here. I have a PDF of it. And I also have more general information if I want to see what the article is about first. I have some basic info here that I can look at. And then we've got also the full text of the article on the page. So you can take a look at it before you choose to download it if you want. But this is a library subscription resource, so you should be able to download and take that article with you. So the Get It links will open up a lot of different library platforms. Sometimes you may even see more than one. So it's up to you to kind of navigate around and see which option might work best for you. So that's what happens when you see the green Get It button. You actually want to use that because it will help you to get quick access to the articles. And in some cases, you see we have more full text. Down here at number 8, we have HTML and PDF options. So there should be a fair amount of material available for you in full text. Now, something else about the ERIC database is that it has a special thesaurus. So this is where the subject headings come in, and let's say I want to know, is diabetes a subject heading? Now we know this already because we've seen it in our subject headings on the articles, but if I didn't know that, I can see it's pulled it up right here. I can click on that. I can add it to my search, and that's one term there. Now, what else do I want to do? Let's try our health education and see, oops, we need to spell things right. And we'll browse that. And so you'll see I have health education here, but I also have this little explode button. So if I choose to connect with my and add this, it's going to combine with the first search term, diabetes, and you can see it's also pulled up a second search term called comprehensive school health education. That may or may not be useful, but let's plug our search in and see what we get. Okay, so what this is helping us find then, using the subject heading comprehensive school health education, is an article on teaching children about type 2 diabetes. So if you're looking at how health education is done in the K-12 schools, that might be a useful subject heading for you. If it's not, you can remove that subject heading and just look more broadly at the health education option. So the thesaurus really works to let you know what the proper keywords are to use for your topics. In this case, it was pretty straightforward, but sometimes the database is still using older subject headings. So for example, if we're looking for videos, the subject heading might still be video cassettes. And it just means that ERIC has not updated things in the thesaurus yet. And so that's why the thesaurus can be helpful. It can help you to identify the proper terms or related terms to use in the database. So that's a quick overview of ERIC and the thesaurus. Now, I also want to point out, you can see we have many databases and options available to us on this education research page. So you can try any of these databases if they look useful. The other thing you can do is go back to your subject guides, and I want to point out that the other guides that might be useful for you would be the health sciences. And so if I open up the health sciences guides, these were created by my colleagues who work in the health sciences library. And you can see, again, we have a number of different topics, and you can use any of these subject headings that might be helpful. I'm going to go to health promotion. And you can see the subject librarian for health promotion is my colleague, Sandy Campbell. And so she's created this guide for you to show you how to search for information. And on the main page in the middle, she's got databases, try these first. So we've got the Medline database, we've got the CINAHL database, which is the nursing database, and we've got PubMed, which is the free version of Medline. I'm going to try CINAHL because I think for my topic, CINAHL is probably a good tool to use. And so I'm going to try this time another keyword, health behavior. So if I'm not always following the rules for my diabetes treatment, I want to look at what health behavior could help. And if I'm an educator, maybe I also then want to figure out, how can I help people improve their health behavior around diabetes with health education. So I can add another search term there. And so you can see we've got over 2,000 articles, so that's quite a bit. We can limit it again by scholarly peer-reviewed journals. And we'll see that's limited at some, but not by a lot. We might want to try limiting by language to languages that we can read. And then we might want to think about our date range again, because it's very broad there. So I'm going to take it back last 5 years or so. And so again, I've still got 1,000 articles, so that's a lot. You could add another search term by adding another row and so on. And so again, because this is from the same company that the ERIC platform is on and that our large search engine is on, it looks familiar. So in some cases, you've got your PDF files. In other cases, you've got your get it links. And you can see your subject headings, so those might be helpful. You might identify some other subject headings, maybe health literacy, for example, would be useful, diabetes education, diabetic patients, and so on. So you just have to kind of figure out how to narrow down to get to a reasonable list of articles or books in the databases that you can scroll through and not have to sift through everything, because there's so much information in some of these different databases. So that's a quick view of the library's main page and the subject guides, and points out some of the key resources for you. I'm going to take us back to the library homepage here. And you can see we have a chat with us box. So that's a good place to go if you have a question. I can't find this book, or this journal doesn't seem to be available online anywhere. Can you help me? As long as you see the available button there, there's going to be somebody on the other end who can help. Other good ideas for questions would be, where can I find the citation information that I might need? And so that kind of information the staff can answer for you. And just to answer that question before we go on, we have a link over here to citation guides. And so if you need to know for your papers or your projects you're doing how to cite things, we have a number of different citation styles and just some very brief guides to show you different kinds of sources you might need to cite that are available here. So then if you need help, basic help, use the chat box. If you need further help, you can come up to the Ask Us, and then you can see, besides chatting, you can email us. That one can take a couple of days for you to get a response. You can phone, and someone should be available as long as the library is open. And then if you need more in-depth help, or you're not sure which librarian might be able to give you in-depth help, you can find a name and then book a consultation. So if it's on the education side, you probably want to book a consultation with me. If it's on the health sciences side, you might want to go to the subject guide and see which librarian in the health sciences library might be the right person for you to request a consultation from. If you're not sure, that's okay. You can just place your request, explain what your questions are, and then we can figure out who's available to best assist you at the time. So there's lots of options for help. Please don't be afraid to ask any questions. That's my biggest rule. There's no such thing as a stupid question. You're here to do your degree. It may be a long time since you've been in school, and maybe you're not familiar with any of the databases, and so you just need some help getting started, or if you're stuck on research topics for your papers, or maybe you're not sure if you're looking in the right place, that kind of thing, then that's a good time to book a research consultation with me. So I hope that you'll take advantage of the wide array of library resources that we have available to you for your coursework, and I hope that you won't be afraid to ask us whenever you need help as you move along in your studies. Good luck, and I'll look forward to hearing from you. Stop sharing. There we go. So I wish you well in your studies, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.